You would think that our pretty boy is on the lift, but no, it's not. We gotta do some last repairs before we can take this baby to Spain.
Because Christian wants to fix something and nothing is actually broken.
I find something broken, okay? There could be something minutely worn out and new required, okay? Turn print small crawl off.
I always hit the push button, the stop button, but Christian wants me to put it into park first.
Yes.
I don't do that when I'm on my own.
Okay, good. I didn't hear that. Now, before we take this baby on to vacation, I want to replace the front upper control arms right here. They are not really worn, but they are aftermarket, and I do have problems with tire wear. And the alignment, especially caster and camber, is off quite a bit. And I'm running out of adjustment over the adjustment bolts down there. And the reason is the upper control arm is just not dimensionally correct because it's aftermarket. So I got the original Land Rover arms prepared and I'm gonna put them back in. Now, of course, I'm gonna make this look real easy in a nicely cut video, very entertaining, but that does not mean that anybody can go there and do it in the same fashion at home, because usually that stuff is corroded. But on our vehicle, everything is really well maintained and I expect this to go completely smooth. I always do.
Okay, so I'm late for the party, but Christian has been really productive this morning already.
I did already a few things. I prepared some front upper control arms for your Discovery because we did not replace them when we did the full rebuild, and yours are not OEM. And they kind of suck. Remember, guys, a few videos back, we realized that they kind of not tight anymore. So here you guys see how the upper control arm is moving back and forth when Vera is steering into the end stop. So I prepared the original ones we took out of Vera's engine a long time ago. I took the corrosion off. Now I put some Fertan on as a rust converter. I'm gonna let them hang here in our furnace room for 24 hours, and then I can basically prime them and we can put them in your vehicle. And we're not gonna make a detailed video because we already got 3 or 4 or 5.
Apparently not, because...
Shh. Next step is to wash off the remaining Fertan. This stuff is easily to dissolve with water, and it is okay to do that in the sink, okay? I'm gonna use some red corrosion protection primer. Okay, you guys, check this out. Not this. I put my upper control arms here in Vera's oven at 60 degrees. Ooh, it smells like paint like crazy. I think our Christmas dinner is gonna taste a little bit like paint. Excuse me. Ah, yeah. That side was easy.
Oh my god, I missed it already.
It was all easy up until now.
He said stop and I missed it. And he wasn't even here.
Okay,
Oh
I had
my
to get
God.
a hammer.
Popped on its own. Go deep down in the abyss.
No, taking out the heat shields is the correct
Ah.
wording. For the last bolt over here, I need to get my wrench in here and the heat shield is in the way.
Oh, okay. What's going on here? Probably because he hit it.
And the last heat shield bolt is up there. 3 nuts and 3 bolts.
Yes.
Now I got all heat shields loose, and now I can just simply take them carefully out, okay? What you gotta remember now is this one comes in last, so you put it somewhere where you don't know later on how it goes in. I leave this one in place, and now I can take this one take it out without bending anything.
Yes, we're never ever gonna get that back together.
We get that back together.
Slowly and steadily.
Yeah, the cables are in the way. Leave that one. There we go.
Yes.
So that one is second. See, and I put it here on top.
Yeah, like that's helping.
We're gonna unclip the cables here. 1 and 2. There's the brake line. Let me take that bolt out first.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that brake line loose. Yeah. Okay, this bolt gotta come out. And now I can take this brake line off here. Now we got everything loose from the bracket but the bolt. Okay.
Oh, we need to open that bolt.
Yeah, piece of cake.
All the way back there. I need to find my light.
The upper control arm.
Yes.
Piece of cake. And now I can get here a good sized socket on here.
Yeah. And these are fairly new. We're not going to replace them. I always have a spare one in my car.
don't want to lecture about everything now. I get my full extension here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is that like a Torque 300? Oh boy, it's bending.
Holy cow. Okay. Now the problem is this bolt is gonna turn on the other side.
Yes, and we have to take the wheel arch off.
Now what we're gonna have to do is get something in there.
So we're going in from the engine bay.
I wanted to make a Simon Fortman video, all quiet.
Do you want Simon Fortman type videos or my type kind of videos?
Okay, so while I'm cranking down here, I got my helper up there and she is holding down a wrench on the other side of the bolt.
Yeah.
Film down so everybody can see the wrench.
So here's a wrench and I don't see anything. Oh, I see Christian down there.
Few more strokes.
Yeah. It's stuck. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
You-
Whoa, my light is also going down south. I've got to save the light first. Because I care more about my light. Because it's my personal light.
Okay,
Here.
good. Your personal life.
Yes. Christian loses everything. Everything
It's gonna
he
be a
loses.
long video again.
But no, stop it. You're going to top over the ladder, including me. Look at that. It looks like a broken knuckle on a Range Rover.
Okay, it's
but
gonna be a long
not.
video. Now, if your bolts are corroded, you're gonna be, at least at this point, gonna be really desperate. But because everything on our car is perfectly maintained, I can take such a bolt out and it doesn't even have a bit of corrosion. And then, there we go.
So I want to see which brand you
See
bought.
here, if something is dangling like this,
That's no
it's
good
never
for us.
good, okay? Can you go and get the other one out of your oven?
Oh my god.
I have a cardboard box up there.
I'm gonna touch it first. Oh, it's nice and warm. So pretty. So I'm gonna put it in here. And here is the second one. We leave the paper on.
Oh, very nice. Okay, I got some handling scratches. And I thought it's a nice touch if we make them green. And they are the original Land Rover ones. See here, you can see the emblem.
Yeah.
So-
And believe me, it doesn't even say Meile on our aftermarket. So he bought the cheapest ones back then, but they lasted and they are
Well-
not really broken. Christian just wants to fix something.
This is dangling, okay? That's not good. Yeah. I got a nice set of press-in tools prepared for the bushings here and for the ball joints here. And we're using Delphi ball joints and Lemförderer ZF bushings. In order to put them in, I need to check the orientation of these. So this is the center of the opening. Look how nice of a tool I made here.
Perfect. No drawings available.
Should I say it or should I keep it a secret?
No, we keep it a secret.
No, I say it.
No, we keep it a secret.
I put on JB Weld because the bushings felt kind of loose, okay? So, you know
Yeah.
it now.
I'm done with Lemförderer ZF aftermarket.
They would probably corrode in place because it's a Land Rover, but they felt a little loose. So I added JB Weld to take up the clearance, okay? I'm not concerned of them turning, but I'm concerned of them working their way loose.
Yeah, I'm concerned that they're going to make a clonking noise and put it into limp mode, because it was not really broken. Christian just wanted to change something, and he uses every millimeter as an excuse.
Okay, I should have not said it.
So that is actually the least job I should do, because I always grumble and Christian hates it.
They do feel looser than normal, so I'm putting in some JB Weld here. This is going to take up eventual clearances, and it also gives the desktop mechanics something to discuss.
Yes, and of course we only publish the footage if that hack works, actually.
Yeah, there will be some
Otherwise
time.
you will never know.
There will be some time to try this out. If we're back from Spain and it works okay, then that's the hack.
Yes.
Okay, the other day I watched a 3D animation video about helicopters, okay? Because there are so many bad YouTube videos out there, and that's one which looked interesting. And I learned that the rotor of a helicopter is not coming straight out of the cabin. It's actually leaning over 4 degrees in this direction and 2 degrees forward or something like that. Because the helicopter has a natural crooked ride in the air, and in order to compensate that and make the cabin straight, they put this in an angle. Isn't that extremely useful information?
Yes.
You gotta know stuff like that. A day later, I was with a customer in our cafeteria, and we had lunch there. And I realized the guy is an aviation guy, and and we were talking about helicopters and stuff and airplanes, and then I came up with that, and he was really impressed that I knew that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, I don't watch YouTube at the moment. I watch Yellowstone.
See, this one goes in straight and nice and tight.
It should go in 4 degrees off and 2 degrees in that direction.
See, this one has even like a little bezel on the bottom, so it doesn't jump out.
Oh, I haven't closed it yet. No, because you were talking about helicopters and...
Yeah, because that's important. There is an aviation guy watching this. Leave a comment if this is true for all helicopters or only for the Bell. Oh, see, it's actually getting quite some pressure. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so this job is nearly complete. The desktop mechanics need to be entertained, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
See, I made here a nice tube which fits over it like this. Okay, this piece goes in like that. It looks like it's tight. I got a nice chamfer on this.
So it is adjustable.
Gotta go on here. Grab this.
That's actually not my job.
Yeah, it's good. They're also not the tightest. Okay, we had tighter before.
Yes, I'm gonna buy only Meile from now on. The Automechanica is starting September 12th or something like that.
It's gonna be a long video.
Yes.
See how nice my tools work.
But I actually think most like my commenting.
Okay. I know what I would vote.
You better.
Snap ring goes back on.
That is a huge tongue.
Okay, it's not in yet, I know that. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's in. Okay. It's in.
It's in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we got to stop for today. It's raining like crazy. Now, the positive thing is, because of the rain, I had the time to give these another touch-up. And I also marked the install location here with marking ink so that I can see if they ever start to turn, okay? Like I said, they did not feel very tight, and it would be very sad if these arms fail on me, because they are the original arms out of this car, which I took out about 6 years ago. So next day in the morning, and the rain stopped, and we can continue. These are the bolts we took out yesterday, but here a subscriber sent me a whole set of bolts at one point, and I'm gonna check if I can use them here. And they've been sitting now in our shelf for maybe a year and a half, and you can see they are exactly the right bolts. And I see if I have 4 pieces. Because of the rain, I had the opportunity to give the suspension arms a touch-up. So I found 3 nuts and 4 bolts, and we're gonna use them, and we put anti-seize here at the core of the bolt. If they rot in and 20 years later, this is gonna help to take them back out. Here we are. Fumble this bolt in here. There it is. Very well. So I seat these bolts lightly because they get tightened in right height. Upper arm wheel knuckle 70 Newton meters. Stabilizer bar link 115. So we're gonna leave all this loose for access here, and we're gonna do the other side now first. Okay, now these bushings are still good. They still hold the arm in right height. There's one. I got this broken loose, so I can take it over here on this side. Oh yeah, there's one more. Piece of cake. Okay, now we gotta relocate this heat shield, and all I gotta do is put it a little bit out of the way here, so I can actually leave it in here. Oh no. Oh, fuck. Well, they've been closed for 6 years. Luckily, it's a cold day. So, first one is out here. So here you can see I set a spanner in from underneath here. I inserted it from the top, but then I set it onto the bolt from down here. And down here I got my ratchet on, and I should be able to crank this loose now. Plenty of lubrication, and work this loose. And success. One bolt out. Second bolt out. And new bracket goes in. Perfect. And new bolt goes in. First try it from this side. Yes, goes in. Now put it in from this side. That's in. Oh wow, I can start the camera using these microphones if I push this button, see? Oh, this is awesome. From my point of view, the hardest part is to tighten the bolts with 175 Newton meters in right height. Now, I previously deflated all corners on the vehicle, so I'm not pushing it off the lift. And I gotta set this to 466 millimeters. And that's precisely 466. Because I got my torque wrench on the bolt, I increased the torque by about 10%, so to around 200, because the BMW guy out of Frankfurt says so. And if he says so, it gotta be right. And you can see I'm hitting right here. So here you can see I got a setup which is a little longer than a short socket, but a little shorter than a long socket. Oh man. think I got it. Yeah, that feels tight. I got a socket combination in just the right length so that my torque wrench clears. Oh, I gotta reduce that to 175. I still got it elevated. There we go. And this side's done. We can put it back together. Want to get that wrench out. That's probably stuck now pretty good. Okay, it's out. Click, click. In there. In. So this side is perfectly done. Okay, we gotta give it a little more. Click, click. Oh, I need a light too. Oh, hang on, I gotta get my wrench down there first. So, that's the last one. And the difficult part is to get the ratchet up in there, but it's in. And watch it, 175.
Ah, strong man.
Good.
Torqued at right height.
Okay, I put the heat shields in, tighten a couple of bolts, and we're done with this exercise.
Oh, I remember when we took the heat shields out and I was worried we're not going to get it back in.
Here's the ratchet in there. This is why I had to take the heat shield out. And all I gotta do is get this out. Think we're gonna have to redo a height calibration because they are bent in a different angle. So, second side is also beautifully done, and we can put the road wheels back on. So, I got to get this into right height, 466 millimeters. So I'm going to show you how I set up the camber angle. Now it's very important that the car is absolutely straight on the lift, which it is here. Okay, that's the first step. It got to be straight on the lift. You work on the lift. So lower it down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead.
Down?
Yeah. Okay, let me do it. Raise it back up to 26 millimeters.
Okay. Wait a second.
Yeah. Another 10. This is perfect. 466. Now we got to do the other side. 466. It's a little too high. Pump it up. More. One more. Slow, slow. A little tiny bit. Stop, too much.
Fuck.
Now it's good. Now the car is in right height and it is leveled, and now I can adjust the camber angle. Okay, now this is a magic piece of plaster in my house because it's 100% straight. If you look right here, absolutely straight piece of plaster because I plastered it. Now this is my chamber gauge and I align this now to 0. There's the alignment bubble and there's the 0 bubble. So that's perfect.
So you got to make sure that the steering wheel is in the correct position.
Steering wheel is straight. Because my disc brake is not exposed, I need here a special bracket which I made a long time ago. And that's where I can set my gauge on. We got a +1 and we want actually a -0.5. So the wheel got to come out this way, so it's going to lean like this. This is going to be -0.5, okay? And you can see the adjustment was at the maximum stroke. I could never get it where I wanted it to be because of the aftermarket control arms. Now I got plenty of stroke to come out this way. So this is going to work perfect. Okay. And with the car being completely light now, with the air removed, it's easy to move this. So now you go up there and you look at the bubble.
I need the bigger ladder.
So see, I can now push the arm out like this. I assume this is good. So check it out if we got -0.5.
So I got to get on the big ladder.
Yeah.
No, you're too far towards 0.
Okay, so I have to come further out.
Yes. Stop.
Yeah.
A teeny bit more. Just hundredths of a millimeter. Stop. Too far.
Too far?
Yes.
It's okay.
Stop. Check it yourself.
You have a tolerance of ±0.75. So it needs to be in that area of -0.5.
Well, that's what you didn't tell me.
A bubble still in the center?
No. It's a bit towards.
So turn this in the center.
What did you do to move that bubble?
You have to twist it to get that small bubble into alignment.
Yes, now it's
Okay.
aligned.
Now look at the big bubble again.
It's perfect.
It's perfect at -0.5.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. So now we got to tighten it. I tighten it down here.
Yes, and I yell at you.
Yes, you yell if the bubble moves.
Okay.
Got it.
It didn't move.
Okay, good.
The other one moved a bit.
Now we do the other side.
Okay. Let me show you something. So Christian got us microphones. I can start and stop the camera using my microphone. Though.
Yes, that's not... Gotta loosen this side. And you check out your bubble.
Okay.
Let me loosen it up first. -0.5. Moving.
Yes.
Further.
Yes. Yes. Slow, slow, slow. A tenth of a millimeter. Stop, stop, stop.
Good. -0.5.
Yes.
Good.
The other bubble.
You have to adjust the other bubble.
That's perfect.
Okay, you remember the torque?
It's 275 Newton meters.
Oh my God. Okay.
Come on, in one push. Good.
So, camber is adjusted as good as we can.
I want to put a red Sicherungslack dot on it now.
And what is also nice now is that both of them are about in the same angle.
Yes.
See, I show you. You can see both of them are about in the same angle. Like this one and this one. That's a good sign. We should put some paint on here, okay?
That's what I said.
Okay, there. Torqued here.
Yes. They are already torqued? Or is that the other side? It's the other side, okay.
We should loosen up the tie rods here before we have it down on the ground. So these are cracked loose. So here I got to re-enable the air suspension. Here you can see with the vehicle in ride height now, we maintained the -0.5 here pretty good with the full weight of the vehicle on. What I got to do now is set up my height here in the front more precise because the upper control arms do affect the height sensor adjustment.
Oh, stop, stop, stop.
I forgot to loosen my clamp there on the wheel and she saw it. I'm gonna hear about that movie. Okay, gonna drive it a few meters back and forth to make sure it's nicely set and relaxed. Oh, perfect. 465, and this side 467. That's good enough. I got the tolerance set to tight tolerance for this adjustment, and you can see here the front calibration values are 100% identical from left to right. I measure a difference of about 3 millimeters, which I won't even bother to correct, but this value was like 190 before, and they were different by 10 millimeters. So this is perfect. You can see that the original suspension arms are just not bent and they fit. Okay, so this is good. I'm very happy. Now we got to do the toe in, toe out alignment. Okay, here we got the toe adjustment done, and we measure basically the angle on each rim, and you can see my setup. We actually have a separate video on how to do this. This would be way too complicated for this video now to explain all this again. We also have an Excel sheet where we can type the data in, and it returns back the correct values which we have to adjust. Now we realized now that our toe in the back is not perfect and we can't correct this tonight. But we got the toe in the front perfectly adjusted, so all we got to do now is a test drive and maybe do a minor adjustment based on the steering wheel angle, and then we're done. And Vera is completely stressed. She's finished. That was very cold here.
It's cold.
It's cold, okay? Really cold. We're going to take our setup away and we're done for tonight.
So I don't even want to know what you are doing.
Okay, see here, every Discovery 3 has this spare plug wired back here. That's for the auxiliary cigarette lighter, which is not installed in every vehicle, but this one is functioning and wired. But this position sucks because the cable is gonna stick out here and you rip it off. So
Yeah, my fridge sits here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna install it back here. I bought one at Amazon, and I'm gonna install it here in this little compartment. And this way we can charge our Gold Zero from back here. Because earlier we had the power inverter here inside the passenger cab, and the cable melted. I smelled it, and it was one of my connections, okay? So nothing to blame but me. And I'm an electrician, okay? And I connected everything to red is black and plus is minus. So this was easy. Okay,
Because you don't
see,
pay
yeah,
attention.
quiet. Okay, this looks much better now.
So he's always quick with the drill before he thinks about what he's actually doing.
Okay. It's much smarter if I install it in this compartment here. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I can run the cable out here and still plug it in here. So I got my Gold Zero now wired in, and if the fridge is running, okay, I can see on 220 the fridge pulls 45 watts, and that's exactly what the Gold Zero pulls out of the power supply. And that equates to 6 amps on my new cigarette lighter plug, which I hooked up here. So I think this is not gonna burn down the vehicle, at least not that quickly. So this will do it for now. And yeah, this is a little bit haywired, but we are in a hurry to get to Spain, so I can't fix that this week. Just like the last 3 years.
So I don't know how many times we have been back in here
Yeah.
fixing stuff.
You can see that the wires get shorter and shorter. Okay?
So my job is to hold the soldering iron.
Yeah.
That's just about as much as I'm able to do, because I only understand red is black and plus is minus.
Where did you put the solder?
In my jacket here.
Okay, good. But it's okay if stuff burns down in your car if you smell it first, okay? And then
And
you
early
stop
enough.
in the middle of the Alps and you say, what smells here? And then your wife says, nothing, I don't smell anything. And you say, yeah, there is some smell. And then you look around in the car and you find out that it's the wiring you did. And you prevented the car from a burn down. I mean, that's a success.
Yes.
You have to see the success behind things and not the failure, okay? Okay, so I got my deer to hold stuff. This is not gonna burn down. Okay.
I hope so.
Little further back because it's getting hot.
Oh.
There you go.
Christian is really heat sensitive. I'm not so much heat sensitive like he is.
Okay, quiet. Put this on here.
So I'm not helping.
So everybody agrees that this connection will not burn down. You gotta hold the soldering iron without poking in your
whatever
eye.
we call it, it's what it's called, okay? Don't correct us. Oh my God.
It's called what we call it,
Exactly.
okay? We set the names and the rest of the world has to adapt. If we call it a condenser, it's a condenser.
Exactly.
Now we got this thing back under power. You know what? I was thinking about taking this lid off because it's so stupid.
It's so stupid
to have that lid here. Maybe it just needs a good wiring connection so it doesn't burn down.
Yes, I don't understand why stuff burns down because of the bad wiring connection.
Okay, see? Without a lid it's much better. And that will be a long video again.
Yes.
I call this Cap Canaveral. This is the control station for our rooftop tent. And I can display here the voltage we got up there. Then here I connect the lights in the rooftop tent. Then I got 2 charging ports here for Vera so she can charge her cell phone. And here I start the diesel heater, which we will do now to see if it's working. So here you can see the diesel heater glow plug is now on and it draws 10.5 amps out of our goal 0.
So it's gonna be all warm and cozy.
So one of the best things I did recently was replacing my voltmeter with a current clamp. With my voltmeter it was always very difficult to measure current. This one you just clamp on the conductor and it gives you a current reading. And typically you don't want to know if it's like 0.5 amps or 2 amps, okay? You just want to know, is there current or not? And this does it really easy. It also works on the glow plugs. And I have some nice crocodile clamp cables for it, so I can clamp it onto something and it stays on. I don't remember what viewer told me to get this, but that was a good idea.
So actually, that thing cost a lot of money, and once when we needed it,
it sucks.
It sucked.
Okay, it was really
didn't
expensive.
Charge that battery.
It was really expensive. It was the one you're supposed to buy, okay, for big diesel engines, and the thing sucks. It's always empty, and it doesn't hold the charge very well. And Mohammed, the guy where we bought the golden Discovery from, he had a cheap one, and it outbursted this one easily. So this brand here.
So the Noco, as of right now, I'm not a big fan.
Let me say it again. This brand sucks.
Yes.
The problem is if I work on her car, she's taken my Prince Smallcrawl to drive around with it. Yeah, we're gonna take this baby down to Spain. That's quite a long drive. That's half through Texas. Better check that oil. Ooh, this is actually low. Vera's car starts to take oil. Yeah, that's low.
So we're back from our vacation. So slowly, you can come back and stop. Oh, he doesn't fit through.
Okay.
Oh my God, all of my tools are gone.
Still in there.
Yes.
Okay.
So let me tell you, that little red toolbox has been traveling with us ever since '94.
These are the tools we have with us when we are on the road, okay? So you can see we basically got our full assortment of tools, everything what is in our big huge tool chest, including our ratchet box here.
Yes.
Okay?
So we need the 10mm ratchety spanner.
Oh, look at that, we're getting stuff.
Oh,
So
good.
I removed the rest of the rooftop tent and then we take it down. So Vera just got a package. Okay, so let's see what it is. It's a hat. Ayrton Senna.
Oh my God.
Holy cow. It's an Ayrton Senna hat out of Brazil. Do you know from who?
Yeah, I know. It's from Ado. They have,
From Ado Rafael.
yeah, they are Discovery 4 drivers out of Brazil. And he has 3 beautiful daughters. And they travel all across South America with their Discovery 4.
So Ado, thank you very much. An Ayrton Senna hat.
Thank you so much.
That is an awesome gift and we will hold this in great honor.
Oh my God. Holy
Okay.
shit. slowly, slowly. So that was the best thing, having Robin made those lift adapters. Perfect.
With a little bit of practice, we get this done like in 20 minutes, and the roof tent is down and on its transport cart, and from there we can take it onto our porch. That's
Actually
usually
into
where it
our
stays
living
over
room.
winter. So I'll give you all our stuff. If you haven't checked out the video from our trip to Spain, it was on last week. Please do so, and you see us using all that stuff in real life.
And the comments were great. Thank you so much. So everybody loved that video. I don't grab anything.
Okay, then grab it on this end now.
Okay.
Let me get some pain relief now.
That all took together an hour.
Yeah.
So I don't have to drive a fully loaded car anymore.
I got here the trip statistics, okay, from our Spain trip. We drove 3,500 kilometers and we burned 480 liters of diesel, which averaged to 13.71 liters per 100 kilometer, which according to Google is 1.27 tons of CO2, okay? And for the desktop mechanics who say now, that cannot be true. Well, why don't you Google it yourself or you ask ChatGPT? But this is what's coming out, okay? The trip started right here after our repair. That's the repair you guys just watched, okay? And then we had all these gas fillings, and you can see here, when we drove down to Spain, it averaged below 13, okay? Even here, this is the drive down to Spain. Down in Spain, we had those two filling. They were basically from going off-roading. So in one tank, we had more than 15 liters of gas consumption. When we drove back through Spain and France, it took less than 11 liters. So we drove a little slower on the way back, okay? But once we got into Germany, we picked up gas as soon as we got into Germany, and it was already late, and I floored it, okay? We went like 150 for the remaining kilometers, and you can see it went above 15.
Oh my God.
So the difference with the rooftop tent on the Autobahn going slow is between 15 and 10.8. That's the consumption, what you can save if you go slow. If you got the rooftop tent down and you drive Autobahn, you are down here below 10. Now that for a 19-year-old vehicle which weighs more than 2.7 tons, even if it is in this condition without the rooftop tent, it got a lot of stuff in it, okay? Below 10 liters. Try to do that with a Toyota. Okay?
Yes, and if Christian drives, it's actually 8.84.
Yeah, that's actually Vera's numbers. That's true, okay? If I drive, I get it further down because my foot is not as nervous, okay? I drive faster, but I keep it more steady and I go more with the flow like men do, okay? Versus Vera, she keeps like a fixed distance to the guy in front of her. We record all our repairs and all our fuelings for all of our vehicles on this website called Spritmonitor. And the link is gonna be in the video description, and don't ask in the comments where the link is, okay? And you can see I can generate a nice graph on the fuel consumption. I can generate one on the repairs, on the insurance, on the taxes, on the tires. All this is nicely broken down. This app is for free and it's one of many, okay?
Yes.
And we don't need those comments. Why are you not using this one? The answer is because we're using this one. 1.27 tons of CO2 for our 4-person vacation on the car only.
Yes.
The next thing I want to do is I want to check out the vehicle and mainly check out our front suspension arms to see if they worked fine or if the marking paint cracked and they turned.
We get a lot of comments who say, why don't you just post the link in your video description? It takes 15 to 20 hours to edit a video of ours. And then on a Sunday morning, before we post it, Christian and I spent another 4 hours getting the video YouTube ready.
There is a solution to that. The day has 24 hours. If we work through lunch, it's 25. Okay, I got it. So most likely I'm gonna have to remove the snorkel because we're gonna get a new windshield, and that windshield is covered under our insurance. That's why we're not doing it ourselves. And for those people who asked, why don't you just polish this, okay? You forget one thing. We are in Germany, okay? And once the TÜV sees that little speck here, it's in the line of sight. It's that area where you watch through, and there is absolutely no repair allowed in that area. It's not even as big as a droplet of water. Then all these stickers are legal. All these things you put on your windshield are legal.
Your
but
cell
this
phone.
little tiny bit here is a problem in Germany, okay? When I'm going with this car, 185 empty on the Autobahn, that's as fast as it goes downhill, you know, there could be like a little smart car in front of me and I'm not paying attention and the smart car is right behind this. Then I may just run through it. I think that's the case they make. So no other choice. We're gonna have to replace that windshield. And to do that, I'm going to remove these plastic pieces. The windshield shop is not going to do a proper job on this, so we're going to do this ourselves.
And he ordered new clips because the clips are going to break.
So,
And while all that is off, he will also fix my windshield noise. Because you were lucky that there was no rain in Spain.
oh, I tried fixing that.
Oh, you did?
I had all this apart.
Oh,
I
you
had the
did?
motor out. I inspected the motor. I put it back together and it didn't cure it. So
Oh my God.
you're going to be stuck with your windshield noise. What happens is that this wiper blade hits right here when you go on the Autobahn and you have a high wind pressure. And then it goes like slap, 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 slap,
Drives
slap.
Christian
It's
mad.
completely stupid. It drives me mad.
In Spain, we definitely drove more kilometers off-road than we did on-road, other than the Autobahn.
So I told you guys we're going to check out the suspension arms after our vacation.
Whoa.
That car is just freaking heavy. I make sure that my paint mark here is not cracked, so the bushing did not turn in the arm. It's good here. And over here,
I don't know if you can see that.
the other side, my dear.
Yes, and check out my winter tires.
Yes,
so
those
our
are-
alignment was working.
So here we'll check out this side. This is looking good. And this is also looking good. So I'm happy with that. I'm glad we reused the original suspension arms which came with that vehicle when it was new and been stored in my basement for like 6 years while we ran other ones and they sucked. We are here nicely in the center of the adjustment stroke and not at one end. We got the correct camber and caster angle. So one other thing I need to check before our TÜV is if we cured our oil leak up there from our vacuum pump, and you can see this is nice and dry now. Unbelievable. Only took us 2 attempts to do it.
Our Discovery 3 performed beautifully. We did not have any breakdowns except for one. We forgot to fill wish-wash fluid. So I bought wish-wash fluid, and that is actually my only physical souvenir out of Spain, and that will go on from now until forever. So this will be my spare coolant water.
Yes, and this is actually now Spanish spring water in
Yes,
here.
that is
okay?
spring water out of the Pyrenees Mountains.
Okay.
It's actually serious. It's dry.
It's not dry, but it could be water. Here, I put my finger in here. See, what? So it's not 100% dry, but it's not leaking out and everything else is dry.
Oh, Christian thinks we need new rear brake pads. And it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have 1 hour of daylight left. We actually need to do that now because tomorrow we want to start on our pretty boy. And we cannot do that if my pretty boy still needs a lift.
So we typically have all brakes, front and back, pads and shoes for Discovery 3 and 4 at home. Okay, so we put these in.
Yeah, good.
Wow, look at that. It's completely...
That's almost like Fabian, but only almost.
Okay,
We heard a squeaking noise in Spain.
yeah.
So we're not going to do a how to change your rear brake pads
No,
video.
we got enough. We got enough of
footage
those.
now. So that is a fail. We're not going to install new brake pads because the disc is
Just too worn out.
too
yeah.
worn out.
Yeah, it's just not worth the effort and ruining the pads.
And then we have to do the job again in a couple of months.
Do have some on stock. some strange ones with holes in them and slots, but they do not look too
Don't
bad.
comment why the holes and slots are in there, we know.
Balanced.
And they were gifted to me by Nick Cross
A long time ago,
a long time ago.
Yeah, they look bigger, don't they?
No, they don't look
Let me
bigger.
get my caliper. Hang on a
Yes,
second.
he's gonna-
The little tiny caliper here where I can measure that with. Okay.
If you drop the brake disc.
Oh no, they are the same. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Yes, it is awesome.
We
You
can finish
saved
this
the
job.
day. And the parking brake was closed, so he had to get up to open the parking brake.
Yes.
Yes, remember, Christian likes to lie on the couch and order stuff.
Well, the BMW guy out of Frankfurt had this, and I thought I gotta have that too.
And we know his
And this is a little bit abrasive, okay? That's not pure nylon.
name. Okay.
And one high performance disc brake from Nick.
And of course, you have to adjust your parking brake if you mount new disc brakes, which is annoying. And we have more than enough videos just about that.
8, 9. Wow, look how pretty those brakes look.
Yes.
Okay, very well. It's too cold for the other side. We gotta quit for tonight. So that's it for our video about replacing the front upper control arms and getting our car ready for our trip to Spain, which is the video we posted last week. And at this point, we want to thank our Patreons a lot for their support. And
We'll see you next Sunday.
okay, maybe with the first video about our Prince Charming. We're gonna take that baby apart.
The pretty boy.
For
In
me,
the
it's going to
cold.
be Prince Charming because this is Prince Smallcrawl and this is the Queen, okay? So Prince Charming is our new one.
Oh my God. Those are so stupid names.